Here. There's Cinnamon saying hi.
Hi, bun.
Where's this puffy bun?
My baby.
She's a puffy.
Good girl.
Here, see hi to all the people. She was at my feet, so I had to.
And licorice.
She's a good girl.
Say hi, licorice. Good
He
boy.
is shedding something fierce.
I know, I'm going to just put him right back.
I know.
There you go, baby.
Cloud of fur. Poof.
Here you go, sweetie.
Okay. No, I know. I can see the cloud.
Poof.
He is shedding so bad. You touch him, and then it's just fur.
Yeah.
Fur everywhere.
Yeah.
If only they would let me vacuum him, that would be great.
Would you let me vacuum you?
I think that's a no.
Yeah, he went in his house.
He says no.
He's had enough of that crap.
Right?
So.
Oh, it changed it.
Change what?
Look. Up here, the
Oh, there you
chat.
go.
It changed the chat.
So you can change it to live chat or top chat. And then this is the super chat, super stickers, memberships.
Oh, that'd be good when it's busier, but I'd rather see all of
Yep, there you
the
go.
chat. There we go.
And welcome back, everybody. See, we're good. We're all caught up on everything. 75 people in the chat. Nice intimate group
Pikachu
here.
the horse. Hello, Pikachu the horse.
What?
Start a hockey tournament once a year could be a fundraiser for a good cause. Think on it. We have done hockey fundraisers before.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yep.
Yeah. We have done hockey
I
fundraisers.
like doing the meetups. Like we're, the meetups work pretty well for what they are, and we can do fundraisers attached to meetups as well.
It
We've
can be
done that.
tricky. People have to remember that it's just the two of us doing everything.
Yep.
And so when it comes to organizing things like tournaments, it's just us. It's the two of us. That's it. And on top of that, we've got our kids and everything.
What's the
So
problem?
planning something like that
Come here.
is very time consuming and difficult because we don't know how to do stuff like that. And it's just us.
I know.
We have meetups in different locations. Usually they're in Coquitlam. Sometimes we do them when we travel on holiday. We always post them on the Facebook page. We always make an event.
Hi.
So if you follow
Hi.
the Hockey Guys Facebook
Hi,
and then you watch for events on there, we always post an event for the meetups.
Which are usually in Coquitlam. When we
Right.
have the meetups, they're normally in Coquitlam at Hickey
Right.
Park.
And then every once in a while when we go
then
on
once-
holiday or
Once the
something like
regular
that.
season starts, you're into A, bad weather in the area, and B, it's busy. So between those things, and then the kids always have stuff they got going on too. So finding time is a problem too.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Thanks for the help with the NHL shields on my Adidas jerseys. I wear most. Yvonne, you're the best. I'm really glad that worked out for at least the one. Yeah, glad I could help. Okay, let's see. Hoping the new coach will spark the Oilers. I miss Woodcroft.
They're playing well. It's just been bad luck and iffy goaltending. If things get better in net, their record will get better.
How are the kidlets? I have a lot of time on my hands now, so I may be stalking you. Not a weird way, though, but a little bit weird. For those that don't know, that's my mother, so it's not creepy. In case people are concerned. The kids are pretty good. They're pretty good as long as they can stop yelling at each other.
My
and
kid's doing pretty well right here, aren't you, baby?
Teenagers are obnoxious, so
Agreed.
there's that.
Yep.
They're alive.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's how the kids are. Bear knows she's adorable. Don't worry. What kind of dog is that? She wouldn't make a very good dog.
No. Azrael's the one that might make a good dog. She does the growling when
sure
she hears
she's
somebody
a rabbit,
outside.
though. Yes.
But she growls and then she runs away
She
when
does.
somebody gets to the door.
Yeah, because she's a kitty rabbit.
Yeah.
Blues are so underrated. Bennington and the defense have both been fantastic. The offense is also starting to click.
Yep. It is.
Can't hold my cats wearing jerseys. They shed so much.
Well, that's why for the live stream I picked one of the jerseys that I use for meetups because
I don't have too much trouble with the cats. The rabbits, on the other hand, I am careful when I
the
hold
rabbits
them.
do shed a
Depending
lot.
on what I'm wearing, there are some things
Yeah.
like if I'm about to leave the house, I'm not going to pick up a rabbit.
Good
Getting
kitty.
bunny fur up my nose. How do you feel about the Stars after that road trip?
Stars are in good shape. Minnesota's not in good shape after last night, but Dallas is. That's the important part. So I explained that to Yvonne. Like, yes, Minnesota sucked, but hey, at least Dallas was good. So there's that. She knows that if I'm happy, then she gets to be happy.
It's not how it works,
So-
but that's a nice thought.
Hey, at least they've gone over to Sweden now, so they get to enjoy Sweden and play a couple games over there.
I need to roll up my sleeves. The sleeves. This is what happens.
It's only a
with-
46.
I know, but it goes. If I'm standing up, you can't even see it goes past my fingernail for fingers, and it's kind of obnoxious. Love from Ireland. Quick question: any thoughts on our Belfast Giants?
I don't follow the EIHL as well as I do other leagues. I know I have 2 Belfast jerseys. One I got from my friend who shall not be named, and then the other one I think a subscriber sent. But yeah, I think it's 2 Belfast jerseys I have for the Belfast Giants.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
What's the current crochet project? Current crochet is my current hyperfixation. I just finished crocheting some little
kept
fluffy
here now?
dinosaurs.
Can you go? To
And Shannon thinks I'm a dork for making a bunch of dinosaurs, but I think they're really cute. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm fine, Dad.
All right, nope, I'm
But
not
I
allowed to
mean-
put her
I
down.
made little fluffy dinos, and I think
Yeah,
they're
put you down.
adorable. And now I'm
Right.
making
No, you're
a
not having a bath.
a
No, go
cardigan with yarn that has like reflector in it with stars, and so it's like granny squares with a star in the middle. That's reflector yarn, and then I'm gonna make a cardigan out of it. So it'll be a cardigan with stars on it.
Could you crochet me a jersey?
No, you
I'll
would not
get-
appreciate.
I'll get the
the
logo on
time.
the front.
The time. What is up with the lace here?
It's just one of those dumb Adidas laces. They always the Boston ones I have do that too. And there's times where I'm getting ready for a video and I'm like, screw it.
Stick it straight up.
It's laces are dumb. I don't care. I'm just gonna do the video. My jersey's just happy to see you today.
Oh, the calico kitty is Bear.
That's Bear. She's my baby, as you can tell.
She's definitely the baby.
Yeah.
Crochet
She'll be pawing at
dinosaur
me
sounds
again.
adorable. I'm learning how to do amigurumi. They're cute. I made a Stegosaurus,
All right.
a Triceratops, and another one.
All right, give me a sec.
I'm not sure where Shannon's going now. He's running
I know
away.
where I'm going.
I don't know where he
I
is.
just don't know where I've been. Hanging on the
Oh, see, my mom says the dinosaurs are adorable, so that's what. Oh man, I think I got bunny fur up my nose. So the question about the cat's name, we do have the Instagram with it's THG cats, and then it's just a bunch of pictures of our animals. So there you go. If you want more cat pictures and rabbit pictures, I don't know where he went. Shannon ran away. I don't want to ask hockey questions. I'll wait till he's. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that your dad passed away. That's rough. My son is dino obsessed right now. He'd love those. Dinosaurs are great. I love dinosaurs.
I thought they were next to the bed.
They are. I know exactly where the dinos are.
Well, fine.
They're right below the mirror in the bedroom on the floor.
Why'd you put
Where
them
were you
there?
looking? Because I was moving them out
I
of
was
the
going
way.
to bring one in here to show what you've been doing.
Does Shannon watch CFL? Not really.
Not
He
really.
watches a ton of hockey.
I'll put it this way. I never
I'll go grab
heard
my
whether or
knife.
not the BC Lions won on the weekend because I'm sorry. All right, don't need to check that. All right. Who do I think will make the playoffs from the Central? Well, Colorado should. I say that despite their losing streak currently, 5 out of 6. Dallas, Winnipeg should be a given, and then whether or not 4th place gets in, I don't know, because maybe we'll have 5 teams from the Pacific get in, but St. Louis should get there.
I got my dinos.
No, I was only going
Don't
to
you
bring
worry.
one.
Don't you worry. I
Don't need to
got the
show all of them.
dinos.
So I think the Canes should trade a defenseman to clear the logjam. In the event that Pesci won't sign an extension, I could see him being traded. That's been the rumor. But at this point, I mean, having too many defensemen is a nice problem to have because defensemen get injured a lot. So maybe you just hold on to and rotate who's in the lineup out of the 7.
It was great to see the parade of Canuck jerseys this week.
Well, yeah, because the Canucks are doing all right. They lost that game in Toronto, but they bounced back and got the win in Montreal, so that was nice. Now they come back home, and we'll see them against the Islanders, where it's the homecoming for Bo Horvat.
Do you think the Habs should start selling early with so many buyers right now?
Well, the problem is the Habs right now are in or close to a playoff spot. I think they're close to. I don't think they're in a playoff spot right now. They're playing well, and so you want to send a message if you're the GM that, like, do you want to send that message of, hey, we're gonna go ahead and sell, even though you guys are doing pretty well so far? I probably wouldn't, but the closer you get to the deadline, the higher the prices get. So I totally understand why there hasn't been a move made. Plus, with the salary cap being where it is, it's just really difficult to make any kind of trade.
Do you think Seattle can get in, or are there too many injuries right now?
They can get in. Their problem's been consistency, and I understand there's injuries there too, but they haven't been consistent from game to game.
Hello, Shannon was wondering what you thought about Lafreniere's ridiculously hot start. Also, I think Kakko's been playing well too, even if what he's doing isn't necessarily on the stat sheet.
Yeah, Kakko's a better player than the numbers would tell you. Lafreniere is a legit star in the making. 4 goals, 7 points in his last 4 games. He's been excellent, and for the Rangers, they need that.
Who do you believe is the number 1 team as of right now?
Your defending Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights look pretty good.
What do you think of the new Whalers jersey?
I have the CCM version. I like it a lot. The the Adidas version that I have is an Adidas Classic. That's why I was thinking CCM, but it's an Adidas Classic. The Adidas that they revealed today would be an upgrade over that, but it's a nice jersey. I just want the blue one now. I want them to have an Adidas in blue, which won't happen because next year it's Fanatics. Oh God, I don't know if I want to see a Fanatics in blue. I might cry.
He can't pet the kitty right now because Kitty's actually leaving him alone right this second. So we don't need to encourage pestering.
Yep, I can't pet either of them. We got Shadow down here. Shadow will come over and paw at me as well, and Bear's right there waiting for any excuse to come over and start bugging me.
Have you ever bought jerseys from Royal Retros?
No.
I don't recognize that name.
Royal Retros, I don't know if they're the real deal or if they're a kit jersey. Now, a kit jersey is where you have the blank and then they
just sew on
the logos and everything.
Patches.
Kit jerseys can look really nice. They can be really close to the real deal, but they're not quite the real deal. So I know some of the ones I got from Custom Throwbacks were definitely kit jerseys. That's why they weren't in the videos I did this summer of, jerseys I have in my collection. There were some that I was like, no, it's a kit jersey, so I can't put that in there.
Do you have any European club jerseys?
I have Kladno, or not. Yeah, I have Kladno, the Yager one. I have Jokerit. I got that one, the KHL version of their jersey because it's KHL right in the middle. Other European clubs. Well, I have the Belfast. I don't have a lot because, again, it comes down to how much I'm going to wear them, cost and everything. And then shipping from Europe is really quite pricey. No, not doing that right now.
Should I pull the trigger and drop Philip Gustafsson from my fantasy team, or will I regret it later? By the way, you're hot, Shannon. Right? See? Online
So
agrees.
you gave him money to do the super chat. Anyways, Gustafsson's in a funk. The Wild are in a bit of a funk. I want to say he's going to bounce back, but I don't know if I would keep him on my team right now. I'd see who else was available and look for potentially an upgrade. For instance, if Swayman's available, Swayman right now would be a pretty good upgrade.
Thoughts on the Rangers and if they can win the cup this year?
If they can achieve that consistency and if they can overcome their issues in the playoffs, their first round last year, the last season, they got a really good start and then they just couldn't close it out. They have to have that consistency in the playoffs. They absolutely can. They have all the pieces you need to win a cup.
What's your favorite color?
I'd be red and black. Technically, I don't have one favorite color. If black doesn't qualify as a color, then it's red. Some people don't qualify black as a color.
Right. I know.
Like white isn't technically a color. It's all the colors.
Right. Okay. I don't know what that means.
Did you know that
How many pets do we have? A
All of them.
lot.
all of them? We have all the pets. We got 2 guinea pigs, 6 rabbits, and 5 cats.
A lot.
So, and when I'm doing videos in here, it is routine for there to be 4 cats and 2 rabbits.
There will be frequently a lot. Yeah.
So Maple's on that tree, Azrael on this one, Shadow and Bear on this one, and then I usually have Cinnabons at my feet and
Where-
Licorice just behind me.
They're not right
I'm
here
just
right
saying,
now.
like, usually when I do
Where
videos,
they are right now. They're not right at
no,
our feet
Licorice
right
is
this
staying in
moment.
his house. And I think Cinnabon's eating at the
Yep, she's
over there
eating.
in the trough.
She is. Yes, and then we have kids. Does the kids count as pets? I think the pets listen better.
Kind of.
They
Opinions on
eat
Sabres, they seem boom or bust. I hope they find their consistency too. Buffalo's a very good team, but I've been getting frustrated early this season just watching them mess things up. And what was the other one? Best goalie tandem right now, I have to go with Boston, Swayman and Ullmark. They're both playing really, really well.
I don't know how you can watch all that hockey with those cats blocking the TV. The cats don't block the TV.
TV's over here. Cats are back here. And when I'm watching the game, she just sits at my feet and bugs for hours.
Kids are pets, right? Do you ever worry about them knocking over the whiteboards?
They have. Usually if a whiteboard gets knocked over, or whiteboards, plural, it's maple. And it's at night when I'm in bed. And then I'll hear a crash in here, and I come in, and there's magnets everywhere. And she's just sitting in the middle of the floor like, I don't know what happened. It's strange. Those boards just fell over because she tries to jump on top of them. She figures it's a surface, and it really isn't.
Which is why we never keep the puck board up. The puck board never
I am
stays
terrified
up.
of the puck board.
When
Puck board's
Shannon's
so heavy.
not setting up for the standings video, it's taken apart and it is down, because if that fell, that would be bad.
Yep.
Hello, Shannon. Look forward to watching your videos every day
Thank
after
you.
work. And I also love to go back and watch the older ones along with
THG.
Oh, yeah. The Entertainment Guy videos. Thoughts on the MIL Admirals early 2000 red jerseys. Love from Wisconsin.
I'm pretty sure I've seen those ones. Milwaukee's had some really nice ones. I don't have that red one in my collection. I do have their current dark jersey as well as the light jersey. I didn't get the gray one, which has the full-sized mascot / pirate on it. But they've had some really nice jerseys over the years. Really, really nice.
Do you follow any of the Canadian hockey leagues, WHL or OHL?
I don't really have enough time. It really comes down to time, because from when I get up in the morning until I go to bed at night, it's pretty much hockey all day. So when I add all the other leagues, and I'm trying to keep up with the AHL as well, and it just gets to be a little bit daunting.
Do the Buns try and nibble at the puck board?
At the base of it, if they're in here, but when I bring in the puck board, I get the rabbits out of here immediately.
We're really careful with the puck board.
Rabbits.
It's heavy and solid wood.
I don't want anything to happen to the rabbits. I'm far more worried about them than I would worry about the cats, although the cats, depending on which one, they can be kind of dingy. So once I start setting up the puck board, I get the rabbits out immediately, and I try to get all of the cats out too. And then the heater's off too. So usually by the time I'm done the power rankings, it's dropped by about 3 degrees in here from where it is when I start the review video. It gets really cold by the end of the power rankings video this time of year.
Can you do a video about Bettman's job? Because I don't really understand what he truly does.
He's the commissioner. Every headache goes to him. So basically, it's his job to try to fix some of the headaches. The thing is, he's a lawyer, so he does all the lawyer speak. I really think that some of the statements that get made by the league, they should have somebody that gives those statements. It's maybe a little more eloquent, shows a little more empathy. I think with Bettman, showing empathy can sometimes be a challenge and makes him come across pretty badly. So I think if they hired somebody who could, I don't know, maybe a guy who's got a bunch of jerseyness in his background, has some whiteboards he could write stuff on and help them with statements. Call me Gary.
How can the
They won't
Minnesota
call me.
Wild stop being mediocre and get over the hump?
Minnesota's issue, and I think they've tried to address it by trading Addison and bringing in Bogosian, is there are some serious defensive deficiencies there. Their goaltending hasn't been good enough either. So there's really some tremendous concerns. And I think part of it is you have a GM in Bill Guerin who's dealing with the penalty of buying out Parisi and Suter. Makes it really tough to put a team on the ice that is able to keep up with a team like Colorado, with a team like Dallas. So I guess a fall off is a little bit to be expected. Guerin's done a good job keeping them competitive as they are.
Do you wear shoes in the house?
No.
Nobody's wearing shoes in this
Slippers.
house unless they are vacuuming and then mopping. That's not what you do.
So right now it's slippers.
When you go into your house, you take off your shoes and you put your slippers on, because nobody needs the germs from outside on your floor.
Right.
Pass.
Just keep your house germs to your house and your outside germs to your outside.
Right? I spend way too much time cleaning this house for people to be walking around with their dirty shoes in here.
True that.
Okay.
Preach it, sister.
Hi again, Shannon. Thoughts on Quick's 4-0-1 start?
Quick's been good. The team in front of him has been very good as well. Jonathan Quick is an interesting goaltender. He had a solid run a couple years back with LA that kind of petered out by the end of the year. It definitely seems like playing for the Rangers has rejuvenated him a bit, because last year was tough.
A scapegoat. That is one of Gary Bettman's jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
To be the scapegoat. Yeah.
Yep.
If Boston keeps this streak up, who do you think they'll try to get at the deadline? I really don't see a huge gap in their structure.
I don't think Boston needs to do much at all. I think if they can add some forward depth, they will. Maybe a depth defenseman. You don't want to mess with it. There's a good team there. There's a good mix of veterans and younger players as well. I'm honestly kind of excited. I'm a little more enthusiastic about Boston's future right now than I was in the offseason. There's some good young talent there.
Yes, Bear absolutely loves Shannon and thinks Shannon is the best human being there is. She would like to be held by him all the time. She sleeps right between the two of us at night. She
glares at you.
She would like it if Shannon would just carry her all day long.
That's the problem.
What is going on with Colorado right now?
Colorado, it is remarkable. I think that there are some injury issues that have affected them negatively. Their chemistry, the team just it's not there right now. They've lost 5 out of 6. I'm going to be interested to see how they do in Seattle tonight, and I want to take a look at their record at home, on the road, and their numbers at home and on the road, because if they lose this game against Seattle, I think it warrants a video and looking at where things are breaking down, because they really do not look like the Avs right now. Don't start smacking me. What is that?
Do you think
You
the
know, people on the
Oilers
internet watching you?
Do you think the Oilers will have a fire sale if they don't make the playoffs?
I don't know if you can have a fire sale with the Oilers, because their money's caught up in guys who make a lot. And I don't know how much value there is. Why are you biting me? I don't know how much value there is in other players. She's really insisting on me picking her up. But I really don't know if you can have a fire sale.
My
with the
hair
Oilers.
is spectacular today,
Hey,
isn't it?
Be nice.
I didn't check my hair before I came in here.
Be
It's
nice.
special.
Be
Let's
nice,
see.
kitty.
Oh, hello, Shannon, new fan here. Love all your videos. What are your thoughts on the Kings right now?
The Kings are baffling. On the road, they're 7-0, and at home, they've won 1 out of 7. They're 1-3-3. So for the Kings, I don't know what to make of them right now. Sort of like I don't know what to make of what this cat wants.
Pet me.
But
She just grabbed your hand and put it on her head.
But
I
with
think
the
that's
Kings,
clear.
they need to bring that road game home. Now, I've talked about this in a video recently. There have been times where a team isn't playing well at home and they start living like they're on the road. They put them in a hotel. They limit the amount of interaction they have outside of what they would normally have on the road, just to try to bring that road spirit home. Maybe they're trying to be too fancy. That's common where a team is at home. They're trying to get the pretty goal, and they're maybe not doing the same amount of work that they do on the road. So they need to figure that out.
Thanks for the work you do every day on this channel. It does
Thank
not
you.
go unnoticed. Some local grumblings about Evason's job security. Your GM for a day. Who would you replace him with?
Do you bring Bruce back? Like, Boudreaux's right there as coach if they decide to do that. The thing is, the one thing with Bruce, though, Minnesota needs to have a more structured game, and Boudreaux's not really as much of a structure guy. So I don't know if Boudreaux would necessarily be the best fit. That's where I think looking for somebody from within the organization that can take over would work. See, now I've got my hand on her, so she's fine. I just have to keep my hand there.
It's like with a toddler, you just put something on and slowly slide your hand away.
I can't do that. If I slide my hand away, she's going to start bothering me again.
How come you didn't do a full recap last night with separate videos?
I did do a full recap last night.
Yep. All the videos got a
Yeah.
recap.
The early game got its own video, and then the 4 later games got their own video. Because matinee game, the thing is, if a game's over at 1 o'clock and I don't review it until like 8 o'clock my time, I don't see that's beneficial to anybody.
How real is the Blues 7-5-1 record?
They're getting great goaltending right now. I'm on the fence as to whether or not I think the Blues make the playoffs. The good news for them is that the Central is wide open and the West looks wide open. If Binnington can keep this up, they're probably a playoff team.
No, those are her colors. She's got different color markings. She's all different colors.
She'd finally settled down.
That's she's just like, oh, mom's touching me.
She's such a weird little cat.
Is there a post office box in Vancouver to send you hockey stuff? Not in Vancouver. That would be a very long drive.
I haven't updated the box yet on
but
the channel.
In the description
we do have
of every
forwarding in there.
video, yes,
Yeah.
we do
and
have
this live stream. There's still
we have both a Canadian address and an American address. The American address, we only get down there like every month and a half or so, but the Canadian address, I check that box.
You're okay. Lay down.
Once or twice a week. So
lay down.
Yes, but it's definitely not in Vancouver because that would be a very, very long drive.
Imagine if we had our mail in Vancouver.
That would be sitting there for a long time.
That'd be insane.
No, we don't live in Vancouver. Thank goodness. That I can't afford that.
No, don't slap me. No, stop. Just leave it. Fine.
And see, do you think Anaheim will keep giving Dostal alternating starts with Gibson? I'm deciding who to pick up in fantasy between Dostal. How do you pronounce that? Am I pronouncing it right? Okay.
Dostal
and DeSmith.
I would pick up Dostal instead of DeSmith. DeSmith is going to get, like, on back-to-back nights, he's going to get the occasional start. Dostal absolutely will get more starts. Anaheim's got a good rotation going. And not only that, but in the event that Gibson says, I'd still like to be traded, you want to see how well Dostal's going to play over a full season, give him more starts and see what you can do. Because even though Anaheim's off to a good start to the season, expectations are still pretty low. So that gives you some leeway when it comes to who's in the lineup.
Just want to thank you as well for always being your authentic self and staying humble and always making wisecracks. Watching with my cat right now.
I try. Although I don't really joke around when I'm not on camera.
Oh my gosh.
I find it best not to.
All the time. All the time.
It's not true.
All the time. I am sure that they can picture how you are off camera.
I bet you they can picture how you are off camera. You're it as a shell on it.
I'm not on camera enough for them to know my personality as well.
That's
I
the
don't think.
plan. That's why she keeps booting me out of the bed all the time in the morning at like 6 a.m. Like, come on, talent, get up. Come on, talent, go make some money.
Can you imagine me calling you talent? That'd be weird.
Come on. Mama needs some new earrings. Get out of the bed.
That'd be so weird, Shannon.
Come on, go do some more videos. Isn't there a career you haven't covered yet? You've only done 8,000 of those videos.
The only anything
Spammy
similar I
moron.
do is sometimes this is the problem with us both working from home is Shannon's a boy and he'll come up and start pestering me and just getting into stuff because he's a boy. And I have to say, don't you have some like hockey
see,
you're supposed
But
to
you
be
tell
doing?
me you want
or-
to see me more. So I'm like, all right, she wants to see me more.
Hey, what's
Let's see what
this?
she's doing.
Hey, what's this? Hey, I should use these cutting scissors of yours for paper. I should use these sewing scissors on sticky magnets.
You're not busy. Let's go ahead and see what I can do up here.
Right. That's what he does. It's like the toddler. Let me see
And
what I
then
can do.
When I
to
go
make
in
her
her
get up.
room, Shadow will follow me. So if Pixel's in there,
Which
well, now
makes
the
the other
cat fights
cats
off.
upset because they go to my room because nobody bothers them.
Because Shadow follows me all over the house. As soon as he knows I'm not in a room, he will cry until I call him so he can find out where I am. So when he falls asleep in here, that's because I'm in here. And he gets really upset if he wakes up and he can't see me because he's a toddler.
Toddlers. We have a house full of toddlers. All the animals.
I've never had a cat that cries because
My
he doesn't know where I
husband.
am. Never had that.
We have
He just
whitey
cries.
cats.
Bear cries if feels like she's been left all alone. She'll do
Yeah.
that too. She'll just sit down in here and yowl.
Until you carry her to the room that you are in.
Yes.
In honor of Shannon, Yvonne, family, and beasties, go Knights go.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, hold on. It jumped. Are we getting another 100-point defenseman this year?
Be nice if Hughes got that, wouldn't it? Quinn Hughes has the potential. He is one of the most fantastic defensemen I've ever seen. This is why anytime Canuck fans are like, he needs to learn defense. I'm like, no, he's the most talented defense we've ever had. Let him learn. Let him evolve. He'll be fine because I've never seen anybody like Quinn Hughes in a Canucks jersey.
How many hours of sleep does Shannon get per night?
About 6.5.
Less on Saturday nights.
Oh, Saturday nights are
Saturday
bad.
nights are not.
I
not
normally
much.
have an alarm set for Sunday morning because
Well,
although
I have an alarm set for Sunday
yeah.
mornings.
But I set
So,
one too
it
just in
works.
case I sleep through yours because that's happened before, where I wake up and you're just not here.
I try to be so quiet.
I know. The funny thing is, I think when you try to be quiet, it alerts my ears
Probably.
that somebody's creeping around my
Of course,
room
it's
and I
kind
have
of
to
like
wake
me
up.
when somebody whispers.
Yeah.
If
I can
anybody
have a
whispers
full-on
while I'm
conversation with the cats, but as soon as I whisper, you're awake.
It's that mom hearing.
Because I can say, Bear, just lay down. Bear, stop. Bear, lay down. And you're out. You're still, snoring at a yay level.
I don't
And then
snore,
as soon as I whisper,
just throwing that out there.
oh, she doesn't snore. And then as soon as I try whispering, like, stop, then she wakes up. What? And then eventually her eyes focus.
Oh, it's true. I can't see when I wake up.
It's so cute.
It's not. It's obnoxious. When can we get you all to make a trip to the Northeast for a Bruins game? Oh, okay, Northeast. I was not thinking Boston for Northeast.
Were you thinking Northern Quebec?
I was thinking, yes, I was like Northeast. Where, Quebec, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be Northeast. But yeah, Boston. All right. To make a game at the Garden. I know it would be a long trip, but us Bruin fans would be happy to welcome you all.
There
And
will be
Shannon
a
would
time.
love to.
There will be a time where when we don't have as many things holding us here, that we might be able to take a couple of days and take a trip like that. But with kids, with pets, with a lot of other things we have going on, and it becomes difficult, and it is very expensive then as well. But I really want to. I absolutely desperately want to watch a game in Boston.
He does, yeah. Love the channel. Can you explain what's going on with the Wolves? How can an AHL team be independent? I don't know how the NHL can be okay with it.
Well, AHL teams have been independent before. I'm thinking way back when you had the American Hockey League and the International Hockey League. And I'm pretty sure there were independent AHL teams at that point. I know there were independent teams in the IHL. If a team does not have an NHL contract with a team, they don't have to. The NHL has no way to force the Wolves to have a contract with an NHL team. And it'll still work out because NHL teams need to assign players somewhere. And Carolina sent a guy to the Wolves this week. So as awkward as that might be, you're still sending players down to an AHL team and hoping they get that development time.
Feel like the biggest problem with the Wings is their defense and goalie. How long do you think Yzerman and Lalonde wait until they can decide to do a shakeup with younger talent and or trade?
Husso has not been good enough. Husso, big rebounds and not the best of goals. Reimer's been pretty good. So they've still got Alex Lyon as the third. There's the possibility of some kind of a move, and Edvinsson needs to come up and play at some point soon. I think Detroit's got a good team. I think they can make the playoffs. There may be some tough conversations coming over the next few weeks, though.
I'm glad to know it's not just my wife that calls me a toddler.
What?
Does Lucas Reichel's start warrant a trip to AHL?
He had an assist yesterday. I think he's playing better, and I honestly think he's played pretty well this season. He's just not getting points. I don't know that it would help him at this stage to go back down to the AHL. I think you just let him play through it.
Admit it, Shannon. You know you had a smile on your face when you had your teams in the 3, 4, and 5 spots on the power rankings.
I didn't even realize until I had started the rankings.
Oh my goodness, the comment sections were ridiculous.
I didn't even realize until I had started the rankings that those 3 teams were all in a row. It has happened before, definitely not at the top of the board, though. It has happened in the 3rd row when all 3 of them were mediocre, but it has never happened where they're near the top.
Are ketchup potato chips really a thing?
Yep. Yes. And they're gross.
I don't like them, but I don't like ketchup. But they are very, very common.
I like ketchup.
They're all gross. Of the brands have ketchup chips.
They're nasty.
And a lot of people really like them. I don't like them.
They're gross.
All dressed are way better.
All dressed are fantastic.
So are pickle chips. I love pickle chips. Those are great.
We have sent Americans our chips. We have done that. We've mailed down our chips and our snacks. We do mail because it is different. It's very different.
They're good. I like Canadian chips much better than American chips.
I prefer Canadian snacks.
Every time
there
we
are
try
certain
American chips,
snacks that I love, like whatchamacallit chocolate bars. Give me as many of those as you can. Those are fantastic. Paydays are great. We don't have those in Canada either. And well, red vines I've started noticing more and more on the Canadian side. Red vines are suddenly available at 7-Elevens, so I don't have to get those imported, I don't think, anymore. I acquired a taste. I don't even like them more than Twizzlers. For some reason, they're just addicting. I don't know if there's some kind of drug that's in red vines, because you're sort of like, I need more. Why do I need more? I didn't even really like it that much, but I need more. I have no idea what it is.
No, we cannot show any game footage because it is copyright. So yeah, you can get your channel demonetized.
They can go after your channel, or if you're using highlights from a game, the NHL will take all the money for that. So they'll be like, oh, that's monetized. Yep, we'll just take all the money for that. So
Google just sends the money right to them.
You might have a video that does really, really well. Odds are you're not keeping the money. I know I've talked to a couple of YouTubers who've used NHL footage and had a headache dealing with the National Hockey League, and it just reinforced my belief that I can't start trying to incorporate any of that, because it's why now with suspensions I don't even show what the suspension is for anymore, because it's not worth the risk. I used to show the play and I would just show it on my phone. I don't even do that anymore. Like I can't. It's not worth the risk.
Does Winnipeg win their division? Pacific playoff teams. What's Yvonne's career? This is it. Loved Yvonne preview video on Halloween.
Winnipeg.
Thank you.
I can't see Winnipeg winning the division. I still think it's going to come down to Dallas or Colorado. I still like Dallas to win the division. The Pacific teams, the division, I don't see Vegas not ending up winning the division. First off, I think Edmonton still has time to cobble together enough wins that they should be a playoff team. It's ridiculous that they're not. Vancouver is going to be an interesting one because between Vancouver and Anaheim, odds are one of them is probably going to stay in the playoffs throughout. Vancouver has an inside track on that. And then Calgary, I want to say Calgary can bounce back. I don't know that they do. The LA Kings are a playoff team if they can figure out their home record. Yeah, and then of course San Jose's there too, but they aren't a playoff team.
Oh, I think Maple's in there. I think Maple is in here.
Yes, she is.
For my career, we both do this full time. So that
yeah,
would
there's
be
no
my
way I
career.
can handle all of the things related to the channel. So she does a lot of the stuff that's not on the camera stuff, but a lot of stuff too, like with the Discord, emails, social media stuff. A lot of it
Comment
is
section.
through her comment section. She helps with that as well. Yep.
Yeah, but before this, I have a bachelor's in education. I used to be a teacher, and for a while, I worked as a financial advisor as well.
And she worked in
There
the
you go.
circus as a fire eater.
I did not.
Very little known that she was a fire eater in the circus. That's how I met her. It was great. They had a circus just down the road here, and I met her. And she burned her lip a little bit, but I have second degree. Like I have level 2 first aid, or I did. And so thankfully I had my first aid kit that I brought to the circus with me, and we bonded over her burnt lip. That's why she looks the way she does. So
What are you trying to say, Shannon?
that I fixed you. So you look fine.
Oh, you fixed me.
I did.
Oh, good.
I do good work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is your audience mostly in the US or Canada?
It depends. In the off season, it's skewed more towards Canada. Once you get into the regular season, it's skewed more towards the US. And then in the playoffs, it's about 50-50. It really depends.
Too.
There's a lot of Europeans in there too. But it does split to about 10 to 12% outside of North America. Most of it is in the US and in Canada.
Are you bumping the Ducks up in the rankings, or is beating the Sharks nothing special?
Yeah, it's nothing special. Nobody moved. That game moved nobody. But you see, if Anaheim loses that game, that's time to move them down.
Shannon. Yeah, the cat needs pets. No.
Always. She's always like that.
Did Yvonne homeschool her kids? Yes. So the 10-year-old, our 10-year-old daughter is homeschooled. I do homeschool her. The 16-year-old is in public school, but I did homeschool him for several years. And then we have another kiddo who's 19 in 3 weeks? And I homeschooled him. He is the reason that I started homeschooling. That was not my original plan at all. That was not what I was wanting to do. What are you looking for?
My remotes.
Oh.
Because we got a game starting in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm looking
so
for my remotes.
So all of the kids were homeschooled at some point or
Can you help
another.
me? No, I don't have
Top 5 countries in terms of viewership.
Top 5. All right. So it would be Canada, the US, Sweden. I'll say Finland.
I know Finland's up there.
And then it really depends.
That's
then you're
neat.
getting into, there's various countries where I get good, really, there's a lot of countries. I used to check all the countries because I found it fascinating that there were people in countries I didn't think I'd have views in, and they show up there. But yeah, I know Sweden and Finland are high. I want to say Switzerland too, because there's a lot of Swiss hockey players now.
If the Canucks make the playoffs, how long do you think they will last? Oh, sorry, sweetie. She's right under my feet.
For Vancouver, if they
There's
make
a
the
bunny
playoffs,
on
they're
my
going to be
feet.
dangerous because
Who's under
Demko
my
is a
feet?
fantastic goaltender, so that helps. Outside of that, it's going to depend on their depth and whether or not their depth can get them through. If they're a top seed, they should be able to get out of the first round. Vancouver's pretty good at getting out of the first round. I don't know if they'd get out of the second round because odds are in that round you'd play Vegas. Bine.
Trapeze. I so couldn't do the trapeze. I'm not strong enough for that.
Bine.
You have to
Hi,
have some
baby.
good upper body strength.
Hi.
I do not.
Hi, baby.
Hot take, but the black, red, yellow color combo for the skate flying V jersey looks awful. doesn't fit the province as well as blue and green.
We've talked about how we like the Orca.
Yeah.
And that general look we think is fine. I think the skate works as a third jersey, works as an alternate look for them. I think they're going to keep that. They may end up with a white skate at some point. But yeah, I think the skate stays as a third, and then the Orca will stick around. It really is very West Coast. The Orca is very West Coast. Hi, Ban.
Do you have any advice for fans going to a game in person to root for the away team?
It helps if you have away fans around you as well.
That doesn't always happen, though.
No, but I mean, nope. Those strings are mine. I've rooted for opposing teams in Vancouver before. I've worn Boston in Vancouver, so that's always fun. But my advice would just be, depending on the crowd, it should be fine.
My goodness,
it should be fine. Shouldn't be a big deal. There are some crowds that can get kind of rough though with opposing fans.
Not usually. I mean, not here anyways.
So somebody threw a beer at me in a celebratory manner. And there was a fight next to us during that game too for a celebratory
But usually, I'm just saying, usually it's not an issue.
Usually, but the amount of alcohol consumed in your section can make a difference.
True enough.
What? Dear Lord, what is the dirty look for?
I'm planning on going with my friends, so that helps. Yes, that would definitely help not be in
That makes a big difference.
Really hope to meet the both of you sometime and meet up. Would you autograph an 8x10 for me? That's my mom. My mom's asking that.
I don't know. She'd probably flip it on eBay. Yeah, I don't know about that. As long as she promises not to get handsy, then, you know.
Did Seattle really deserve a team, or did money win?
No, Seattle absolutely deserved a team. Seattle's got a long history when it comes to hockey. They were in the PCHL before the NHL was the NHL. They had a team in Seattle. They had the Metropolitans. I'm honestly surprised it took this long. Seattle was supposed to get a team in the 70s, and they got hosed out of it then.
Thoughts on the ethics of gambling ads?
They're a little much. They're a little much right now.
I don't understand how it's okay.
The fact that absolutely everything now is a gambling line, you can't just enjoy a hockey game, is frustrating.
And the commercials with players.
It is constant.
To me, that's really...
It's constant. And I do think that it encourages excessive gambling.
When it encourages accessible
constant
and
gambling,
easy and instant.
And so it's no longer just a matter of, hey, so, you know, who do you think is going to win tonight? What do you think? It always becomes, well, here's what the stat line is right now on DraftKings. Why are we doing this every 10 minutes? Why do we every 10 minutes throw to some guy who goes, hey, the stat line's done this? I don't care. Can we just watch a hockey game? When I watched the AHL Calder Cup final, it was so nice to watch a hockey game that did not involve gambling at all. People are already gambling. So I don't understand it.
I don't understand why the gambling apps are able to be sponsors. Like, why are there gambling ads on the boards, on the ice, on the jersey, on the helmets? To me, that's icky.
Yep,
I don't like it. But I don't like gambling, especially when it is so easy.
No, I've dealt with gambling addiction a few times in my life. Not myself. That's why I don't gamble. But people I've been close to with gambling addiction problems, and it can be crippling. It can be financially crippling, and it's everything. They will bet on absolutely everything. So what's going on right now with all the gambling ads, I can only imagine for people who have a problem with gambling, watching sports right now has to be awful.
Oh, the ads about the Americans don't know anything about hockey,
a funny commercial.
Why use their sports book? Those are funny.
That's a funny commercial. That is honestly a funny commercial. The new kayak commercial, though, about getting a chef that can cook really rare animals that are maybe illegal. That might be my favorite commercial on TV, as well as the kayak one with the guy drawing the caricatures that are so awful. The only reason that commercial is so funny is because the first person in the family gets the caricature that looks like crap. And then the others in the family sit down to get their picture drawn, and they look shocked and upset that the pictures look terrible. Of course it does. it's so funny.
I don't like losing money, so gambling's not a problem, right?
Yep. When we go to Las Vegas, we save money because we don't gamble and we don't drink. So those are the two ways that Las Vegas makes
money
you
saving tips for Vegas. Don't drink or
spend
gamble.
a bunch of money.
Ta-da!
Yep. Just stay away from the drinking and the gambling, and you're good. The shows are relatively well priced, considering how much it costs to go see a movie now. Going to see a show in Vegas doesn't seem like all that outrageous a price.
Yeah, she's good now.
No, she's not. She wants me to pick her up. That's where she's headed with it.
Haven't been able to watch NHL on TV due to the virtual ads on the boards and the ice. Aren't
They're
they
bad.
obnoxious?
They're bad. Yesterday, I
really
think it was.
don't like the ones on the ice.
I think it was
They
the
move
Chicago
and
game.
flicker.
I think it was the Chicago game that you could see the player's jersey disappearing into the boards yesterday.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
was weird.
seriously, this is just absolutely ridiculous. But it's there now. They're not going to take them out. They make way more money on the digital ads than they did on the standard ones. So I don't know. I don't know that there's any way to get it out.
Really hate the digital tracking, player labeling, etc. Add in ads, and there's just so much going on the screen.
It makes it look like a video game.
Distracting, isn't it?
When you're watching a power play and they've got the guy's name over his head while he's going on the ice.
Or there's the lights
and
they do.
Anaheim has the tail on the power play. They put the tail on the puck. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. You have the player's name and a tail on the puck. I don't want to feel like I'm watching a video game.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm watching a hockey game. Can we get rid of the tail and just broadcast, just simply broadcast a hockey game? That's what we want to watch. So all of the extra stuff they've got in there, it can get very distracting, and it takes away from the experience for me.
Oh, they started putting the ads on the glass a few years ago. Those were before the boards and the ice.
Because we've talked for years about how they move.
On. Yeah.
They move at times, and it's really distracting
because
they're not actually there.
As bad as the ones like on the ice. The ice ones seem to be the most glitchy, and
the ones on the ice can move too.
That's so distracting. Or they'll make yellow spots. I don't like those, but Shannon's prediction for Eastern playoff teams.
Boston's in, Rangers in, New Jersey will make it, Carolina will make it, so that's 4. In the Atlantic, I want to say Buffalo. I don't know if Buffalo can get above the line. Montreal's staying in the hunt. Toronto will be a playoff team. Florida should be a playoff team as well. So that's 6. I don't want to count out the Islanders either. And I hope Detroit makes it in. So that'd be 8. So I'd like to see Detroit make it in. One of Detroit, Buffalo, or Ottawa. And right now it just doesn't look like Ottawa or Buffalo are winning enough that they're going to make it.
I'm agreed that they shouldn't put moving ads on the boards during play.
Nope, especially that Enterprise with the car.
Yep.
The Enterprise one with the car.
Awful.
And then there's the one with the puck. There's the NHL one that has the puck that moves. I'm like, seriously, you're putting a puck on the boards during the play? Awesome. Great. Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys. But whenever Gary Bettman gets it mentioned to him, he says, well, if you're distracted by the boards, you're just not paying attention to the game properly. Yeah, it's my fault, Gary. Thanks.
I get distracted by a light blinking over there.
You get distracted by what you see with the crowd, where you're like, what the heck? Especially when you see, like, there's play going on. Everybody in the crowd standing up and looking in one direction that's not at the ice. You're like, is there a fight? What's going on? What's everybody looking at?
What pieces do the Habs need to be a contender?
A little more scoring depth would help. Monahan's on quite the run. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable over a full season. So a little bit of scoring depth. I like their defense. There's some inexperience there. And their goaltending has to stay fantastic.
What did you think of Domingue's performance on Thursday? I've always liked him and was really happy he had a great game.
Domingue's a good goaltender. He's a good number 3. I don't know if you'd want him necessarily as the straight up backup, but he's a good number 3. And I'm impressed with him when he comes in. He does a very good job. He accepts whatever role he's given.
Flyers' thoughts? Are they playoff push material?
I don't think so. The fade lately, it feels like, is probably how it's going to go. They need to be healthy and they need their goaltending to get better. Their goaltending overall has not been as strong as it looked early on. Ersson, a couple of rough starts for him. Hart, of course, been hurt too. So there's a lot of question marks with Philly.
Crazy that players are doing betting ads, yet Pete Rose is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think eventually we're going to see regulations come in where the players can't be actually endorsing gambling apps. It's terrible.
Don't understand how that's
It's weird too,
allowed.
because I get all the time emails about, you want to pair, you want to partner
Oh my
up with
gosh,
us,
all
want to
the
partner up
time.
with us, and I know they pay well, and my answer is always no. I really
They don't take no as an answer.
They
either.
don't take
You
no
see
for an
their
answer.
responses, and I usually tell them, "You misheard me. I said no."
Yeah, and then they'll keep, well, if you want, no, we really
But
don't.
look at
We're
how
not
much
interested.
we pay.
Yeah, we're not interested. We'll pay you more money then. No, we're not interested. Thank you. No. Because for me, it's a situation where I don't want to ever get an email from a subscriber saying, my husband, my wife, my kids, somebody was at a problem with gambling, and it was because I had endorsed it, and it was an app I endorsed, and they spent the rent money, or they spent money and they don't have money for bills. And I don't want to be in a situation where I get an email like that, and I don't want to feel like I've hurt somebody else's quality of life just because I decided to make a few bucks for myself. I'm not willing to do it.
What Canuck games are you going to this season?
We've got the Islanders game on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And then we have a game against the Coyotes, a game against the Kings, and a game against the Ducks, which are all in March and beyond. So after the game this week, then there's nothing until March.
You have an Abbotsford game that you get to go to, though, right?
I don't know.
Don't you?
Soon.
I think there's
We
an
have
Abbotsford one that
eight
you get to
Abbotsford
go to.
games overall, but of those 8, 4 of them have already passed.
Right.
So once we
Shannon
get into
did
this
a
time of the year,
video.
it gets tough. Yeah,
He
I
did
did.
do a video that
did.
had all of the Abbotsford and Vancouver
Yep.
games that he will be able to go to.
Yep.
Before the Sharks won a game, I thought they would single-handedly raise league scoring just by teams playing against them. Love this team.
The Sharks, it is one thing I'll say for them, if they keep up the quality of work they've had over their last few games since the back-to-back 10 goals against, honestly, they're at least tough to play. If they're tough to play, then good. And they're still not going to win a lot of games, but at least if the effort is good and they're still in the game, then it's more entertaining to watch. When it's 10-1, 10-2, it's tough to watch.
Shannon doesn't do fantasy hockey. He doesn't have enough time.
For myself, I've never really done fantasy hockey.
If Huggy continues to put up points and finish at top, does he win the Norris?
That's a tough one. I still think there are people who are not sold on Hughes as an all-around defenseman. So, like, there's the Carlson aspect where Carlson's pure offense, but I don't know if you're going to get enough votes, especially from people on the East Coast who may not watch Hughes a lot. So that's where it gets kind of touchy. And there are a lot of really good defensemen in the NHL. If Adam Fox plays a full year, if he can stay healthy, Fox is going to be tough to beat. Even if Hughes gets 100 points, Fox is going to siphon off votes. And so is that guy named McCarr in Colorado.
The game has not started yet.
It's close.
I see somebody asking, but we will be stopping.
We'll be stopping
when
this
the
pretty
game
quickly
starts so that Shannon can pay attention to that.
Once they get into the anthem portion, I'll have to shut things down. So we're close, but we're not there yet.
Who do you think is the best goalie in the league right now?
I think Shesterkin still can be. Swayman's had a ridiculous start to the year. Demko's had a fantastic start to the year as well. Once Vasilevsky's back in the lineup for Tampa, Vasilevsky we know can be. So I would say out of those 4 right now, those are your top guys.
When do you think they'll release the Stadium Series jerseys? Why don't they release them in the beginning of the season? Wouldn't they sell more?
I was just talking
about that today.
Yeah, I was just talking about that today. The frustration that some retailers might be having with jerseys and when they get them, when they don't. I think the NHL needs to be a little more proactive and put these jerseys out earlier. There's been times where I get a stadium jersey or a Winter Classic jersey after the game's already done and the team's not wearing the jersey anymore. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Hopefully with Fanatics, we get something better when it comes to that, because Adidas and the NHL and the way that this has worked, it just, I don't know. They don't sell enough because they don't market it well enough.
Kane are going to Rangers or Detroit?
Buffalo's still in the mix. Last I heard, there are 5 or 7 teams that are in the mix. They're all East Coast or Eastern based teams, though. So I would not be surprised to see Kane end up. Detroit would be an interesting one, but Buffalo to me is the one that still probably makes the most sense.
The Wild are bad. Does Everson make it this season?
It is easier to fire the coach than it is to trade the players and change things up. It depends on Guerin. If Guerin didn't have any expectations this year, then fine. If the team doesn't have a lot of expectations, then fine. But if there's pressure from above, Everson will probably be gone.
Let's go Blues. Isn't this a fun jersey? This is my only Blues jersey that I have.
What do you
It's my only one.
You're not
thought it was pretty
stalking there,
fun.
right?
If
You weren't
Edmonton
stalking
misses
there,
the
right?
playoffs, do they blow it up?
On some level, probably. The problem they're going to have is convincing the core guys to stick around if the team doesn't seem to be going in the right direction. You were chasing Bear to attack her. So I'm letting the internet know you were going to attack Bear. You be nice, kitty. And she's still going to do it.
Watch your YouTube recaps almost religiously because I cannot take the gambling ads both during games and on sports highlight channels. Thank you for being so consistent over the years.
Thank you.
Shannon works very hard to make sure that he stays consistent, even when he doesn't feel like it.
There are days where I'm like, I'm going to be here for a while. But
Yes.
it's part of the job. So suck it up,
7
Buttercup.
7
That's what I
days
was
a
always
week.
told at my old job. Just suck it up. So that's what I tell myself. Just do what you got to
Oh,
do.
which cat was that?
That was Azrael.
She's a spaz.
The young version of Bear. Their personalities are so remarkably similar, and they hate each other. So girls,
She's a spaz.
girls.
She's
But
too
anyways,
kitty, though.
we should get going. Game's getting started here. Islanders and Oilers. So, thank you guys for coming out. We will do this again once we find some time to do so. And hopefully the games are entertaining tonight and you tune in for the reviews.
Loved your interview with the Ducks. Have you done any more with other teams?
I have an interview coming up tomorrow with San Jose Sharks podcast. I will be talking to Duckstream again during the season. We are, talking things over and coming up with what that's going to look like. So stay tuned, but I'll let you guys know when we know.
Based on the start of the season, what is your current pick for Stanley Cup Finals? I'm assuming it's changed.
I do not change my pick for the Stanley Cup Finals until the playoffs have started. So I'm still saying New Jersey and Dallas. I got my fingers crossed on Dallas with that, but I don't change it because otherwise you're changing it all the time. And then what's the point of making a prediction? So anyways, guys, thanks for coming out. Take care, and I will talk to you guys again soon. The Sharks pod's the one with, I think it's
we can post it on the community tab.
Yeah, once it's been done, it's 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be on there. So anyways, stay tuned, eyes open and all that, and I'll throw that into a news video tomorrow. So stay tuned and talk to you again soon.